Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Luke with Premium Aquatics here, and today we have a brand new product. That's right, it's on our website. We don't even have it in stock yet. It's coming very soon though, so don't worry. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's just jump right into it, guys. Come on, let's go. Hope you guys are doing great. All right, guys, today we're looking at a brand new product from Tropic Eden. That's right, one of the best manufacturers of sand out there right now with the reef flakes. We have the Morocco rock from them that has been phenomenal. Cocoa worms, all that good jazz. We got more rock coming from them. The branch rock, so we're very excited about that. Check it out on the website. It's going to be up there soon. But today, we're looking at this. Tropic Eden's Moldable Rock. That's right, this is Tropic Eden Moldable Rock, little plastic beads of aragonite infused nylon. This stuff is so cool. I just had the first chance to play with this. I think it's about a month ago when we went to the Reefapalooza show in New York, and I got a chance to play around with this stuff, and it is so much fun. I love this stuff. It is so cool. It comes in 4 colors. It comes in a dark coralline, a pink coralline, which is a little bit pinker, obviously. It comes in a white dry rock, so it matches kind of that dry marble rock, reef saver rock coloration. And then a aged rock, which is more that gray coloration, kind of like if you have rock that's been sitting out forever and it kind of loses its color and all that stuff. More meant to match with those colors. So there are different color options to match what you're utilizing. So how this works is really simple. It's a extremely hard nylon compound. All we're gonna have to do is get water that's 170 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna throw our beads in there, however many you want that you think you're gonna need. So I'll put in, say, this many, and we're gonna give it just a minute to soften these up. And basically what you're gonna find is this becomes exactly like the texture of silly putty. Who doesn't love to play with silly putty? It's amazing what it does. So this is gonna soften up, so I'm gonna let this sit to the side for just a minute. And all we're doing, giving that time to soften up, and then it's going to become extremely pliable to where we can do anything we want with it. You can create frag plugs, you can create structures for your rock. Your possibilities are really endless. Tropic Eden showed us pictures of where they utilized it to make feet, so that way they had a piece of rock that just stretched out one of the pedestal with shelves, and they put little legs on the bottom, so essentially it was just this massive shelf that overhung, and there was nothing holding it up besides this and then that small little base of rock. It's phenomenal. It's really great what this can do. Now, we've given this a little bit of time here. I can start using my chopsticks to put these balls together. And I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and you'll see exactly what I mean here. Obviously, be very careful. This is extremely hot, so be very cautious when you're dealing with obviously 170, 185 degree water. It's going to be hot to the touch. But as you can see here, hopefully this focuses, you can see the remnants of these little balls. And I can just smush them into place and make this one big putty. I love this. This is just so cool to have this melt down. To just have this become so soft and pliable like this. It's incredible. I love this stuff. So now we're soft. We have about 3 minutes of working time, depending on where you're at and the temperatures and whatnot. You have about 3 minutes before this is going to start stiffening up again. And then once that starts hit, it's going to be quite a bit more difficult to still manipulate it as easily. And then it's going to be fully hardened in about 6 to 10 minutes. Again, that's going to vary on what type of temperatures you're looking at. But that's about the working time you have. Probably is 10 minutes, probably about the max you're going to get, unless you're working with a large chunk that has been able to keep its heat. But this is amazing. So now what we're going to do is, real easily, you can either use this to, make a frag plug and stick it to your tank if you want to, stick it on the rock and then glue your frag on here. The one thing to keep in mind is that, because this is a nylon-based compound, if it's something that you want to make flat and use against a flat surface, it's probably going to be better suited to utilize some super glue to help create that bond, because obviously if you've got 2 flat surfaces, it's not going to be as good at sticking on there, just like anything is. If you give it a lot of force, it's probably just going to pop off. So use some super glue with that, and it's exactly like using a frag plug. It'll be exactly like that, but you can mold it to whatever shape you want to. Get it down in crevices on your rock if you want to, however you want to do it. So that's the great thing about this. Tropic Eden claims 3 times stronger than your other things like epoxy, which is, I mean, it just makes sense because it's a nylon product. Essentially it's getting back into that nylon form as it hardens up, and it's very, very strong. And I'll leave this out here, just this little thin piece here, and we'll just see. Like, I'll be able to bend it, but it's going to be very strong. Nothing that you can break like you could do other things like epoxy. So we'll let this sit out. And then for this, if we want to utilize it with rock, which right now I'm already starting to feel it getting a little bit tougher to deal with as far as pulling and that sort of thing. I can obviously bend it and squish it together still. But for rock, the main thing is you want to make sure there are places for it to grab onto. So you want those nooks and crannies that you're going to shove it into between each rock to really give it something to adhere to. Because again, if you're just putting it on a crack, it's going to be easy to pop that unless you use it in tandem with some super glue. So what you want to try and do is get it around, ledges and such. Say my finger and my thumb were 2 different pieces of rock. If I wrap it around there, it has that really good grip of holding all the way around those ledges, as opposed to just kind of trying to squeeze in between a little nook and cranny. So you want to try and give it plenty of spaces to really grab onto and hold onto to just get you a solid connection. I did about 3 or 4 pieces at the show, and it worked phenomenal. I could take that rock, hold it upside down, and I had no worries about it coming apart. So that was great. But yeah, so now I can tell this is starting to get very hard. I've got fans going on here since the lights are hot. So it's starting to really harden up. But guess what? I've got another one here, this chunk that I made, and this thing, it's hard. Now, it's not fully hard, but it's hard where I can't bend this, I can't pull or anything like that. I can put this piece back in this hot water, give it some time. Now, obviously, this is a bigger chunk than these beads, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but this thing will soften right back up and become just as pliable as it was first. And normally what I say, if you want to do that, what's a great way, if you can, is to flatten it. If it's something that you're going to try and use again later on, make it a flat piece. That way, it's a lot thinner and the heat can penetrate it a lot quicker, and it's going to become a lot faster on bringing it back into this putty state. So the cool thing is about this is if I'm working on a rock structure here and say I put it together and I'm like, I really hate what I just put together. This does not look good. Technically speaking, get a hot bucket of water. As long as it's really hot in that 170, 185 degree, you could probably do less. It's just going to take longer to really get that heat in there. So the 170, 185 is really the preferred temperature range. But put that rock in there, and that stuff's going to soften up again, and you can pull it apart, and away you go. Now, if it's in deep, obviously you're going to have all that remnants in there, but it'll harden up and be just fine. Again, it's inert, 100% reef safe, so no worries about that. The options of what you can do here, and the fact that you can reuse it again, is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. If I didn't have this rock work all put in here, I guarantee you I would be using this to make my rockscape. It's just so fun to play with, and it works so well. This is that cube, and you can already see it's softening up. Now, the inside of this is still tough because obviously it's a thicker piece, but you can see here I've been able to get this off, and now I can take this piece here and reuse it as a frag plug, whatever I want to do, and I'm good to go. So really amazing stuff. I love this. A lot of different colors. Check it out, guys. Again, it's not yet in stock on the website, but hit the button that says email me when available, and we'll email you automatically as soon as this stuff is in stock. It comes in 2 sizes. This is the 4 ounce. There's also a small little test tube. I believe it's 1.5 ounces on those. I definitely recommend the 4 ounce for the price. It's a great deal. The fact that you can reuse it. I probably used maybe half of this jar for about 4 different medium rock structures, putting together 2 rocks to 3 rocks on each one. So how far this is going to go is completely dependent on how heavy-handed you want to be with this. Obviously, the more you use, the stronger it's going to be, but the less further it'll go. So keep that in mind. But I think you could do a pretty decent amount if you use this sparingly. So let's go back to the tank here. Take a look at this piece. It's hard. It already moved, as you can see. It's on my tank, but I can move it. I can take it off completely. If you're going to use something like that, yep, it's going to hold there. But how long it's going to hold there? Probably not very long if you have any snails or anything going crawling on your glass. So I definitely would not say just stick it on there. If I was going to do something like this, I would take a dab of super glue, put it on the back, then stick it on. Then you have the same thing as any other frag plug. So it's phenomenal. And not only that, you can make this to whatever size you want. If you just want a little pea size, literally a pea size, just do one, smash it on there, make it flat, put a super glue, bam, you're good to go. And that's a super cheap, affordable way. And if you would ever want to, you can reuse it if you're able to get the frag off it. But this is phenomenal. And you can see this is hardened up. It is a little bendable simply because it's a thinner piece, but this is hardened up and I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. And if this was on a rock, this would hold great. It's a lot of fun. I love this stuff. It's great to play with. Everything that I've been able to do with it so far, I've been very, very happy with. So definitely go check it out again. I'll put a link in the description below. As always, go check it out. Sign up for the email notifications so as soon as we get these in stock and in the shelf, you can pick up yours. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Love you. I hope you're having a great week. And we'll see you again real soon. Peace, guys.